Well, St. Louis, if you know of anyone in the area who has lost a lot of weight, it's likely this man behind it. Weight loss coach Charles D'Angelo has helped thousands of people to reach their goals for the last 2 decades. You may have seen him in January's Men's Health magazine for his work with helping actor Tom Arnold drop 80 pounds. Yes, that's crazy. This next segment has been sponsored by Charles D'Angelo, and he is here in the house with them today. Charles, thanks for being here.
My pleasure.
Oh,
Good
my
to meet
gosh.
you finally.
Thank you. I know. I missed you last time, so it really is a treat. And Charles, you yourself have lost so much weight. Tell me about your story.
Yeah, so when I was a teenager, I was 360 pounds. I had a size 50-inch waist. The things most people take for granted, getting up a flight of stairs, approaching other people, talking confidently and comfortably, were really challenging for me. I mean, I was a kid that many days in grade school, I spent lunch eating my lunch in a bathroom stall because I was bullied and teased. So in today's society, with bullying being such a big deal, I can totally empathize with the struggle that many young people are going through, and then ultimately what my clients come to me with, feeling stuck in a place they hate. I lost 160 pounds 2 decades ago and have made it my mission ever since to help other people get that weight off. Yes, absolutely.
You look great, by the way.
Well, thank you.
What was that moment when you said, okay, enough is enough, it's time to change?
I could have been the king of excuses. I mean, I came from a family of very modest means. My father and mother were great people, but they both had their issues. My mom struggled with alcoholism and prescription drug addiction. My father, hardworking guy, but didn't have much education. He was Italian. He and all of his family were plagued with diabetes and obesity. So there wasn't one thing that made me decide to change. It was really recognizing that if I wanted my life to be better, I was going to have to make significant changes in my life. I made those changes by really reworking the relationship I have with myself, food and exercise, changing my mindset, and that's what I help other people to do.
It all starts with you.
It all starts with taking responsibility for the choices you have, realizing that anything can happen to anybody. It's not what happens, but it's what you do with what happens is going to ultimately determine where you go.
You are in control of your own life. I like the way you think. And we actually have one of your success stories here in the building. Susie, you can come on out. You look amazing, by the way.
Thank you.
We have Miss Susie Mazzei here with us. This is her before photo. She reached out to Charles and, well, look at her now. Susie, you look amazing.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh,
100 pounds down.
Thank you.
A rock star. Okay, what was the changing or really the turning point for you when it came to, okay, it's time to get this weight off and change?
Okay, I've been overweight most of my life and have tried other diet things and never got to the goal that I wanted. Physically, I couldn't move around. Emotionally, I had no confidence at all. Health, it wasn't a matter of if I'm going to have diabetes, if I'm going to have high blood pressure, it was when. So those things, you know, just kept mounting up, and it was the heaviest that I've ever been. Wow. And so my husband heard about Charles, and so we called him, and I was nervous about it, but I knew I needed to do something.
I love that. Well, I mean, you have so many success stories.
Thank you.
Like Susie. What makes your program so different?
I think it's really understanding that success is kind of like a three-legged stool. You have to have healthy eating, but most people that come to see me have astonishing competency. A vast majority of my clients are doctors. And so you would figure,
what?
Yeah, so you would figure a doctor obviously knows what he or she needs to do. It's not knowing what to do that's most people's issue. It's actually the application of doing it and then having the accountability, the scaffolding to keep it together. So you have healthy eating, so I tell people exactly what to do with food, when to do it, so you leave my office every day knowing what you're going to do. It's all grocery store stuff. The only exercise required is
50 minutes
of walking on a treadmill, and it builds from about a half hour. Yeah. But the real work, the real change that happens in a relationship like the one I have with Susie is the relationship you have with yourself, so you change your mindset. That's what's really different about the program. There are so many different pills, programs, books, trainers, nutritionists. I think if those things, while they all have their merit, if those things were the answer, I wouldn't have had the problem I had. Susie wouldn't have had the problem she had. And one thing I want to say to everyone watching is, you have to recognize there is no finish line to this. One criticism that people often will say is, well, that's great, he's helped scores of people lose hundreds of pounds, but how many people keep it off? And here's the answer. I won't be able to give an answer until every one of my clients is dead. because the reality is this is something that you never, ever, ever can give up on. You've got to continue to practice the disciplines to keep your eye on the issue, and that is not using food as a distraction or consolation.
Well, I love that you said it all starts with your mind. So, St. Louis, if you're at home and you're ready for a mindset shift, Charles has helped thousands of people change their lives, and he can actually help you too. You can go ahead and schedule your consultation today by visiting charlesdeangelo.com, or you can just pick up the phone and give him a call at 314-495-3228.